You know how many times me and my little brother fought over who had to play with the fucked up controller? This would have saved them many, many, many years of whoopings in 2K, Madden, and whatever else we was playing. Thanks for checking out my video though. I'm Urban Tech Reviews, and today on the channel I'm going to be reviewing the PlayStation Dualsense Edge Pro Controller. Let's check it out. I bought my PlayStation Dualsense Edge controller on Amazon.com, and the ticket on it, $200. Oh Lord! When I took it out the box, my first impressions was this is a Dualsense controller on steroids, and essentially that's what it is. It's a Dualsense controller with adjustable triggers, removable back buttons, mappable back buttons, and a whole bunch of other features that Pro controllers should have. Now, battery life on my Dualsense Edge controller was actually really good. I used it, I would say, about 7 to 8 hours without charging it at all. And that was really the only time that I used it wireless. Usually when I use this, I keep it wired, you know, for latency reasons. Now, the latency with it, I didn't really feel any latency regardless if it was wired or wireless. I didn't see a difference. But I just prefer to keep it wired, just because if there is any latency, I need all the help that I can get when I'm playing Call of Duty and all that, you know, because I suck. So I use it wired just for latency issues, and I used it wireless just to test the battery life. But like I said, the battery life is strong, and I don't think that this is going to down you anytime soon, or you know, you're going to have a problem with battery life. A lot of people were upset about the battery life because it has actually less battery life than a regular Dualsense controller, which a lot of people was like, well, how's it the Pro, or why is it a Pro if it has less battery life than the regular Dualsense controller? Now, that was kind of a dropped the ball got dropped there by Sony a little bit, but it is what it is, and it's not really a deal breaker for me. It feels very similar to a Dualsense controller. That's because it has the same ergonomics as a Dualsense controller, giving it a very similar feeling to PlayStation users. Xbox users may have a learning curve when using the controller, but PlayStation users probably won't have that issue. Even though the PlayStation Dualsense Edge controller is slightly bigger than a regular Dualsense controller. Let's see what comes in this nice hard shell carrying case that they were nice enough to provide for us. You open it up, you get your Dualsense Edge controller. You get two half dome paddles. You get your two standard dome caps, and then there's two high dome caps. And there you see, if you pull it out, right there you see how that one's a high one, and that's a standard one. So this one's a little taller, and this one's a little shorter. And they also have places if you wanted to take the paddle off, just pull your paddle off, and then you can put your paddle in there, or however it goes, just like that. It's a place for it. Shows you how it goes. Also, this is where your extra stick module will go. If you needed a new stick module, or if you just had an extra one just waiting for that stick drift to happen, it will go in there. And then the last spot right here, this is where your lock goes in for your controller. Mouse is in my other room, but your lock to lock in your USB type C cable into your controller, it will go in there. So that's the carrying case. Also, you have this QR code, which will take you to the PlayStation website, and it lets you access frequently asked questions. You got a mesh little pocket up here, so if you wanted to put something in there, you could put your cords or something else in there. Then if you look at the other side of it, you have two zippers with the PlayStation logo on the zippers. See that on both zippers. And then you have a little hook if you wanted to connect something to that. On the back bottom side, you got the triangle, circle, X, square logos. And then on the back, this will be your pass-through, which your lock will go into here. If you want to charge your controller, just keep your controller in there charging. You put your controller in there, you put the lock in here with the cable already locked onto it, and then you just lock it in there just like that, so your controller could be safe whenever you know wasn't playing or something like that. You wouldn't have to worry about it getting damaged. But that's the case, which, like I said, is a really good case, and hard shell, nice protection right there. The features of the Dualsense Edge Pro controller is changeable stick caps, on controller user interface, which is basically the FN button used for different users or used to control your mappable buttons on the back, replaceable stick modules, adjustable trigger lengths, braided USB cable with lockable connecting housing, mappable back buttons, all of the same features as the Dualsense controller, wireless capabilities, haptic feedback, adapted triggers, built-in microphone and motion controls, and the same signature support grips as the Dualsense controller. So let's get a closer look at the PlayStation Dual Edge controller. You have your up, down, left, right, the directional pad. You'll have your share button. This is your options button. And then you'll have your square, triangle, circle, and X button. Also, you'll have your left stick and your right stick, PlayStation logo, which actually turns on your console just like your regular Dualsense controller. Then you have your mic mute right here, and then you have your microphone right there, and on the bottom you have your controller, where you can either put it into a controlling dock, and you can plug a 3.5mm headphone cable into that side as well. You'll notice there's two buttons right here that says FN, and that's how you remap or map your rear buttons. You just hold these in, a menu will pop up on the screen, and then you're able to remap your buttons. You see, this is your touchpad right here, which it does have little PlayStation logos. I don't know if y'all be able to see that, but it does have PlayStation logos on there. This is your speaker right here, and that's basically all of the buttons on the front of your controller. On the top, you'll have your L1, R1, and then you'll have your L2 and R2, and you see the R2 and the L2 have your PlayStation buttons as well, your square, triangle, circle, X buttons. They're on there as well. So nice little design that they have. You have your USB Type-C charging port right there. That's how you charge your controller. And if you flip it around to, I forgot on here, there's a light bar that's in here too. You'll see a light bar in there, and that tells you what player indicator you are, so it changes colors depending on what player that you are. And when you flip it around, you'll have your trigger adjustments. So this right here is for a short press trigger. It's a medium press trigger. That's a long press trigger. So you see when it's on the top one, that trigger goes all the way down like that, and this one is on the bottom one, which is a short press right there. So you see the difference in those triggers. These are where they come in handy in FPS games, because you want that quick trigger like this, because it'll give you that ability to not have to press the button all the way down to get a trigger, rather than having to press it all the way down to get a trigger shoot or to get response. Also on the back, you have your paddles, and these paddles are removable by just pulling them down like that. I did have a little trouble before doing it, but it's not that hard. Once you get used to it, you just pull it out. You don't want to lift it. That's where I was having problems doing it, is because I was lifting it up and then trying to pull it out. It's just pull it out like that, like that. Real easy to do. Put it back in, same way. Okay, and on the back you have a reset button, which is in the middle of your controller. I don't know if you see that, but it's a reset button right there. Then you have the release. You don't know what that release button is. That release button, if you click that, it will release your front panel. So let me see if I can actually get it. I don't have any nails. So when you hit that release button, it takes off your faceplate. It releases your faceplate. So this is a shiny faceplate. and then it gives you access to your stick module. So if you want to take out your stick module, you'll see that there's a little lever right here. You pull that lever up like that, and your stick module will just slide right out. So if you ever had stick drift and you wanted to replace this, all you would do is follow those steps right there to be able to replace it. Put it back in, slide it down, lock it in, it's back into place, and then put your faceplate back on, snap it back in where it goes. Here it goes. Like that, you heard the little click, and now your controller is back to where it's supposed to be. Some of the things that I like about the Dualsense Edge controller is that it has the ergonomics of a PlayStation Dualsense controller. So to me, I feel like I already know this controller. Yeah, there's buttons on the back that I'm not really used to, but in due time, and you know, working with it, muscle memory and everything, I'll be able to get those buttons like it was just a regular Dualsense controller. So the familiarity, if I said that right, is really great to me, and I appreciate that, because I believe that PlayStation users, people who already play PlayStation or use PlayStation controllers, will, you know, be able to just jump right into this controller and be able to grip it and play with the controller like you would a regular Dualsense controller. The features of the Dualsense Edge controller to me are just like never ending, and I wouldn't consider myself a pro gamer or anything near a pro gamer, but I just feel like I really appreciate the features that this has. The FM buttons on the bottom right here, which take you into a profile in case you, like I have my own COD profile. So when I play COD, when I'm trying to learn with these paddles, then I switch it to my COD profile, and then these paddles become active. So this paddle right here on the left becomes my paddle to reload my gun, and the paddle on the right becomes my paddle to change my gun or change my weapon or whatever. So I love those features. I love the adjustable triggers. You know how you just adjust these from settings 1, 2, and 3, and I like the fact that you can actually see what setting you're on. I have a couple other pro controllers, I'm not gonna name what they are, but they don't, it just has a button here, and you got to pull down the control, the trigger, and it doesn't really let you know what setting you're in. So you don't know if you're in, you know, adjusting setting 1 or setting 5. So I like that it's just numbered, right? Well, not really numbered, but it has marks right here to let you know if you're in setting 1, 2, or 3. I like the ability to be able to change out thumbstick, one of your sticks if it gets stick drift. What else I like on here? I kind of like the locking cable idea. I mean, I understand where they were going with it, but you know, it's not really my favorite feature. I like the ergonomics on it. I like the feel of it, being that it's just like, you know, my regular Dualsense Edge controller, Dualsense controller. What else I like on it? I like a lot of all the features on here. I can say that I really like, and I really appreciate those features. This case is I love this case. I always charge my controller in this case when I'm not playing it. I put it in here, plug it in through the pass-through joint, and I just, you know, let it sit there. I love this case, hard shell case. It's not gonna break. You know how many times this case didn't drop with my controller in it and nothing happened to my controller. The dual zippers with the PlayStation logos on it, the, you know, triangle, circle, square, X on the back, PlayStation logo on the front, the black and white design. This looks really premium. So if you're a person that likes to travel with your controller, maybe you even play PC, or you like to bring your PS5 on the road with you, then this is what you keep it in, because it's not going to get damaged in this hard shell case. Also, I like the fact that you get this little mesh spot up here to put random stuff in. They give you all of these little things in here, your little dome caps, your little half trigger things in the back. Your controller part right here, the locking cord part goes in there. If you got to get a stick module, goes in there. Controller sits down in there, really good. I love all of this. And this part right here is a little QR code. You scan that QR code to take you to the PlayStation website. The frequently asked questions, you can go in there and check out you know, any questions that somebody else asks, or you can ask your own question and it can be featured on the frequently asked questions section. So this right here is a big plus. Love this case that it comes with it, because not a lot of pro controllers come with it. Y'all would be surprised how many pro controllers that I bought that actually don't come with a case. you know, so I definitely appreciate that, PlayStation. Let's get into the dislikes. Dun dun dun. No, but the dislikes, one of the biggest dislikes to me is that this is a Pro controller, but even I believe that it is geared towards PlayStation users, but as a PC user too, you can use it on PC. But if you use it on PC, you're not going to get all the customization options that you get on your PlayStation. Meaning that, you know, you won't get the option to remap buttons. You won't get the options to change all of the settings that you can change on your PlayStation. You don't get those on PC. So if you're a PC player and you're thinking, hey, I'm about to get this controller and ball out like them PlayStation dudes be doing, you're not going to get that same type of customization that you get on the actual PS5. So that's a bummer for you guys. I mean, I play PC, but I'm mainly a PlayStation player. I just play PC every now and again, you know, but you know, that's a big letdown for, I guess, those guys. Another thing that I'm kind of on the fence about is this right here, this locking cable. And yes, it's a plus, but I also look at it in another light. I look at it at like when I plug this in, and not me, but if somebody plugged this in and you got it in your controller and you got it locked in, boom, it's locked. It's in there. Your controller ain't going nowhere. And somebody trips over this, your controller will stay engaged with the cable. But what I think is that, what if it pulls your PlayStation down or knocks your PlayStation down? I would much rather my Pro controller hit the ground than my PlayStation possibly being pulled off a stand and hitting the ground or whatever. And that to me is just a plus and a minus, you know, because I mean, I don't have that problem because where my PlayStation is, it's in the cut and nobody really walks across. You can't really walk across it, so I don't have that problem of somebody tripping over this cord and pulling my PlayStation or my controller down. But to other people, you got a small child, you got a dog, a cat, and they run across your screen or run across you and get caught up with that cable and pull it out, your PlayStation or your controller might hit the deck. So I just look at it like if it wasn't locked, if your controller wasn't locked and somebody tripped over it, boom, what's the worst that can happen? Your controller stay in your hand, the cord comes out, you know. So I look at it that way. I don't know, some people might not feel that that's a problem or issue, but I just look at it as it could potentially be an issue. Now my last issue is that I wish that there was more grip around the whole grip of the controller, the whole handle of the controller. Now on the insides right here, I don't know if y'all can see that, there is a little texture in here, but on this it's like a different type of plastic, to where this might be rubberized, the insides of these might be rubberized, but the outside is plastic. It's the hard shell plastic that goes like around the rest of your controller, and I just wish it was more grippy. You can buy grips for these. They have grips that actually slide on there. I think they have full controller grips and all of that stuff that you can buy. I might look into the grips that just slide on there. It's not really a deal breaker to me, but I just wish that it came with even maybe some type of grips that you can put on there. Am I being petty? Probably. You know, you're getting a $200 controller and it has a ton of features with it, a ton of accessories with it. But I just wish that had you know, a little bit more grip. And maybe you see how like your R2 and L2 triggers have like the PlayStation logos on them and stuff like that. I wish that they put them on the R1 and L1 too, you know, to give them a little bit more texture. But other than that, man, this controller is solid. It's solid. I know I had a couple dislikes, but they're not nothing major that I would say are deal breakers and make you not want to get this controller. So wrapping up this review, the Dualsense Edge controller goes way beyond my gaming wants, needs, and probably capabilities. The Dualsense Edge controller, I don't believe is just for your regular everyday gamer who's just playing basic games. If you're playing like Madden, I don't think you need it. If you're playing 2K, I don't think you need it. NHL, Tiger Woods. If you're playing games like Crash Bandicoot or anything really that's not a FPS type game or something in that range where you gotta have like quick response times, triggers and stuff like that, I don't believe that you really need the Dualsense Edge controller. I don't believe you need a Pro controller at all for those type of games. But if you're playing Call of Duty, if you're playing Fortnite, if you're playing, what is it, you play PUBG or whatever it is, Far Cry 6, maybe even GTA, stuff like that. If you're playing those type of titles, FPS games, then I believe that the Dualsense Edge controller will be right down your alley and assist you in better gameplay and a better experience overall. The pure fact that you can eliminate stick drift by just taking out the module and replacing it for 20 bucks is just like mind-blowing to me. If they had these when I was growing up, I said it in the intro, if they had these growing up, it would have saved me and my brother tons and tons of money. But even though you have to, you know, spend an extra 20 bucks on top of the 200 that you already spent, it's worth it. It's well worth it to just be able to do that and keep this controller. This might be the last controller that you'll ever need. I think that there's only one, maybe two other controllers, if that, on the market that offer that type of modularity where you can just replace the stick with a new one, you know, with a stick module. You can just replace it. So that to me is just exceptional. You know, that right there makes this controller well worth the money. So is the Dualsense Edge a perfect controller? No, there's probably some things that could be better, but to me, it's the closest thing that you're gonna get to a perfect controller, and to me, it's the best controller on the market. Hopefully, a lot of companies follow this trend and get behind this and, you know, make it better, you know, because they say that copying something is the best form of flattery. So hopefully, you know, they make something that's better, and then PlayStation comes up with something that's even better, you know, because at the end of the day, the consumer wins when companies make things better and they're in competition. If PlayStation is dominating it, then they could just keep everything the way it is, and nobody's really going, the consumer's not going to win, because PlayStation is just at the bar and they can do whatever they want to do. But when you have competition and people come in and they're like, oh, well, let me make this, and this is almost as good or has better features than the Dualsense Edge, then PlayStation have to step their game up. So I like that. I'm rambling on, but I like that type of stuff, you know, when companies challenge other companies. But the Dualsense Edge to me is a winner, and I would recommend it to any and everybody who, you know, needs a pro controller. But it's Urban Tech Reviews. If this video helps you in any way, or you just appreciate my content, you can let me know by clicking the thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, you can do that by hitting the logo on the bottom right hand side of the screen. If you're not following me on all social media sites, all that information is in the description. Until next time, Tech Family, stay blessed. We out.